welcome back to the Way of Truth Tarot. My name is Mandy, for those of you who are just joining, and for those of you who are returning, hello again. Today's reading is going to be a totally different vibe than what you're used to me doing. I need to look into other things. I need to look into other things. I mean, not all the time, but the next few readings that you'll see from me are not going to be true crime. It's not healthy to dwell in that energy all the time. It really isn't. And I'm much more than that. I have many more interests, and I have many more messages that need to get relayed other than true crime stuff. I understand that most of you who are here for the true crime. And that's totally cool. If you watch whatever floats your boat. So, anyways, I just wanted to let you guys know where I'm at right now. I am still creating 2 true crime series, and I'm going to continue doing that. But those are going to be the only 2 series regarding true crime that I'm going to do, at least for the next little bit. So this is my spiritual practice and my spiritual path, and it is elevating to a different phase, if you will. My focus is more intentional going forward. So anyway, oh, that's not good. What was I gonna say? Crap. Anyway, whatever. Let's just get to the reading. The reading that I am doing, as the thumbnail states, is I have some questions that I want to ask regarding the UFO hearing that just happened. Yes, I am very much involved, interested with that whole realm. Let me just say that. So, but it's not something actually I've really talked about on this channel yet. And just because I was focused on the true crime stuff and for a while, and but recently it's been brought to my attention that I need to start focusing on my mission and why I'm here on this planet, and that is my path with tarot. It's not just a YouTube channel that I have. This is like, I'm sharing with you guys my spiritual journey, my life, literally. Yes. So, I am a growing, evolving person, and therefore my content is going to grow and evolve along with me. So, yeah. Anyway, let's get to the reading. And as always, everything said in this video is alleged, and my opinion based on the energy and the interpretation and the card meanings and all of that stuff. I am not here. This reading is not meant to convince anybody of anything. Either you believe or you don't believe. And that's totally fine with me. You don't believe? Wonderful. You do believe? Wonderful. I'm just simply sharing what I do. So it's not meant to be a trigger. It's fine if you don't agree. Yeah. Okie doke. Card 1. So actually, I'm going to be using tarot, a Rider-Waite tarot. But I'm also going to be using 2 oracle decks. And honestly, for the life of me, I do not remember this deck's name. But it has a bunch of different ET races and corresponding meanings with each card. For instance, the Nagas, lovers, erotica, sensuality. The Nagas are depicted in ancient Hindi art. They're half snake, half man. Right, YouTube doesn't like nudity. Anunnaki. Crop circles. Messages, curiosity, signs, etc. Ouroboros. Infinity, eternal, past life, and so on. So I'm going to be pulling from this deck. I'm also going to be pulling from the Extraterrestrial Oracle. This deck was created by Uri Geller. Uri Geller is one of like the trailblazers in modern times in terms of like bending spoons and psychic psychic abilities. Sorry, my mind's blanking. Anyhow, he created this deck. So there's cards like Aleph, the beginning, Eye of Horus, clear vision and protection, Moon, light in the dark, UFO, which represents faith, Heaven, which is forgiveness and peace, Spoon, remember, bending spoons, flexibility, Zener cards, developing psychic abilities. Zener cards are a deck of cards with these symbols on it, and they're like flashcards, and they're used to test your psychic abilities. Really, really fun. Etc. Crown chakra, etc. So I'm going to be pulling from these 2 oracle decks along with the tarot. My spread is 5 questions. And let's get started. What is the core revelation? That's position 1. What truth has been most clearly revealed in this hearing that we might be underestimating? Okay. What truth has been most clearly revealed? Queen of Cups. In this hearing that we might be underestimating. Wow. That it's no threat. Well, and that's what was brought up. So I haven't watched the entire hearing, but I've watched like 10-minute clips. And one clip that I watched talked about, for the longest time, the powers that be, i.e. governments, have said, there's nothing to see here. There's nothing that is a threat. Blah, 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 blah. That kind of thing. So the Queen of Cups is being in touch with your feelings, not focusing so much on the world that we see. This card is saying we're entering we're entering a time where things are not as they appear, right? What is told to us is not necessarily the reality of things. And so the more in touch we are with the more balanced we are, specifically with our emotions, that allows us to discern better and this is like the burden of fear. This is what this card is, both of these together, the burden of fear. And that is what has been controlling us for so long, the burden of fear. The Catholic Church does it. God-fearing people. The government does it by the use of war and making us scared so we spend money in our safety or in giving our power away to the others to keep us safe, when really what we're seeing is they are the facilitators of our fear, or the reason that we should be afraid. That is coming to light. And so what was underestimated in this hearing was that the UFOs are the problem and the thing that we should be worried about. But really, what is the one thing that is being underestimated here is the burden of fear put on us by our own people, the government, people that are in charge of keeping us safe and organized, and that's what's underestimated. It's like deflecting. And the thing is keeping the people in the dark about the reality of the relationship between humans and the creators of these craft. That's dangerous. That keeping the majority of the world in the dark about that reality is not safe, because what if in fact what the government thinks is a benevolent or copacetic relationship with an outside society, an outside galactic society more specifically, and they turn out to be nefarious and they ended up tricking the government, and then the whole world, have to reconcile that, which would be even worse, in my opinion. That's what was underestimated, in my opinion. Let's see what the oracle cards say about that. Wow. The shadow self. Denial, projecting, and shame. Shame is a huge tactic that the Catholic Church has used for thousands of years. If you make the people hate themselves, then you can control them. Jesus' teachings were perverted. He wanted to bring the power to the people You are made in God's image. Wolves in sheep's clothing. He never wanted to create a religion out of his teachings. He just wanted to impart knowledge. And then it was twisted. And then shame was fed into it to slowly dismantle the light within us. Okay, let's keep going. You know what? This video is probably not going to get pushed out. Whatever. Okay. Alrighty. Let's actually get another one of these. See what it says. Open-mindedness. This is going to help a lot. What's very interesting is open-mindedness and denial. And this is the shadow self. This would be the light version. Can you guys see these? Let me just... Yes, perfect. Okay. All right. I'm going to put these back. I don't have a lot of room, so... Ooh. Interesting. Strength popped out. What remains hidden? What data, motive, or piece of evidence is still being withheld or obscured? Okay. Strength, that's interesting, and I'm going to keep that there. What data, motive, or piece of evidence is still being withheld or obscured? Oh my God. The light. The truth. Okay, this to me is like, it's not just about... It's not just about the craft. It's not just about people from another world or planet or dimension. It's about realizing that what that would mean. What that would mean is that there is sacred inner knowledge, insight about creation. The Knight of Wands is creative energy. It's very fiery, fast. It's creation. And strength is the power. This is representing the all-powerful. Like, this would mean that humanity would finally get the inner insight for ascension. Because it would mean that what we have been taught about the limitations of our reality are just, they're bendable, they're changeable. Over time, it would the more over time, the more regular people would be exposed to fantastic stuff that we only have ever dreamed of or read about in science fiction, that would evolve the person exponentially. And they would no longer have control over 8 billion people. It's way deeper than just craft and people that look different. Oh my God. Guys. The Hermit. They want you to retreat from the inner wisdom. Look at, like, I can't make this shit up. Double Hermit. I've got chills. Like, oh my God, this is amazing. Oh, the Lyrans. Oh my God. Guys, strength. It says it right on here. I'm not even pulling these out. They're popping out on their own. Look. Strength and strength. And this is a master number. And Lyrans, I identify as a starseed. This is my lineage. Last year, in one of my true crime readings, and I forget which one it is, but if you read the comments on all of them, you'll eventually find it. It had nothing to do with my starseed. The video had nothing to do with that. It had to do with true crime. And I get this comment by one of my subscribers, or I don't even know if it's a sub. It could have been just somebody watching. And it said, "You are Lyran." How did they know? How did they know? Unless they're one of me. Anyway, this is spooky. This is spooky. And I'm loving it. This is the energy I live in. This is the energy I live in. The truth. Okay. As much as I don't want to touch these, I need to make some room. Okay, interesting. So 2 cards popped out before I asked the question. I'm going to do the same thing I did with the last reading, where strength came out and I kept that. Okay, so this is like strings attached. This is, I help you, but for an agenda. And 3 of Cups in reverse. So 3 of Cups upright is community. In reverse is division. We're going to help the people, but with secret strings attached in order to divide them. Okay. Impact on collective consciousness. How would this hearing shift public belief, fear, trust, or hope regarding the UFO/UAP phenomenon? The Page of Wands. The beginning stages of like energy output. The beginning stages of an effort put in to shifting the public belief. The more hearings this happens with, like, the more hearings happen, the more information comes out. It's going to slowly start to allow the people to shift their energy focus on away from fear. I'm hoping. Yeah, away from fear. Let's see what the other cards say. Because this is like, what is happening is that keeping this information hidden facilitates, helps the powers that be trick the people into thinking that they're helping them, but really there's a nefarious agenda to divide them. The more hearings happen, the more people are going to see and start to shift their perception towards ascending their energy to the truth. King of Pentacles in reverse. Well, it's on its side. What is on the other side of the King of Pentacles? Oh, the High Priestess. Yeah. The King of Pentacles is independence, practicality, logic. What was said that was not logical and what was nonsense to believe in. These hearings are going to shift people's perception to that actually the reality is logical and the plan is starting to crumble and we can see it for what it is. That's what this is representing. Seeing the truth. With a new set of eyes. Your third eye. Because it's like, again, it's us humans increasing our frequency. The whole world is changing frequentially. We're moving from 3D into 5D. And that's why we can see things, you know, that otherwise we weren't able to see before. All right. Infinity. Oh wow. What this knowledge is going to eventually bring humanity is that we are eternal beings. We have had lifetimes on other planets. Death is not the end. It is a doorway. And that when we realize that that is the reality, we live our lives in a completely different way. We see things in a completely different way. Oh my God, the Hermit again. This is a spiritual inward journey for every single human. Like the High Priestess and the Hermit together. Wow. This is incredible. I had this incredible urge to do this reading, and now I know why. Because it needs... people need this message. Okay, we've got the Seven of Wands in reverse, and we've got the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. What skeptics fail to see. Queen of Pentacles in reverse is very like, how can I put it? Like catty energy, jealous energy, mind games, toying with people's emotions, dishonesty, you know, agendas for like creating something for one's own gain. The Seven of Wands is like needing to protect yourself from an outside energy, needing to protect your energy. So, like, skeptics before in the past have been like, let's. Basically, this is like protecting yourself from people that will attack your character, your reputation, call you crazy, say that you never worked there when you did. All of the tactics that we have seen for discrediting whistleblowers over the years. So, what counter argument or what truth is being ignored by those demanding proof? The Ten of Pentacles. Okay, so that's like lineage, it's family dynasty, it's a family name. Queen of Swords would represent the truth and discipline. Okay, what counter argument or what truth is being ignored by those demanding proof? So this is like, this points to a very, an upbringing, a reality that I'm not open to anything other than what I can see, I can touch, I can smell, etc. The family dynasty part is pointing to earthly 3D perceptions and realities. And it's easier to not question that when you've been raised for that. It's easier to stay in that world that you understand. These people, it doesn't matter the truth or the proof that you give them. They hold a certain energy, and they're closed-minded about changing that. So it doesn't matter. You can give them literal proof all day long. Like, even if you show them a physical being, if they are not willing to open their mind, they won't see it. Like, it's a lost cause. And ultimately, the lesson in this is that as long as, I mean, more and more people are open-minded to this fact. So as time goes on, more people get on board with it. So it's starting really not to matter the more we go into the future about certain people being so skeptical, because they're going to eventually outnumber, the people that believe are going to outnumber the people that are skeptic eventually. It's not our jobs, like I said in the beginning of the video, to convince anybody of anything. But what is important is that the powers that be, that have control, they do know that it's real. And we know that now. We at least know that. And so who cares if the average Joe on the street doesn't believe? Whatever. He'll eventually get there. What does matter is that the governments who do know that they're real need to be forthcoming with it. That's what's important. Let's get... Oh, wow. Resilience, bold, and sassy. This is the Tau Sentients. They kind of look like Spock. And the Lyrans. Oh my God, there's my card again. Strength, courage, and bravery. We need to stand in the face of skeptics and say, you know what? Your doubt does not intimidate me. Sorry. You're turning into the minority. And at some point, they won't be able to deny it anymore. It's their journey. We're not all on the same journey at the same time. But the people that do know the truth need to be brave and harness their strength and stand by what they believe to be true. And not just in this subject matter, but all of the subject matters that are currently coming up from the shadows in our day and age right now. Yeah. So the more that we open our minds, the sacred knowledge that the Hermit card was also referring to earlier, the instincts, our intuition, and the mysticism, which is what the Hermit, that inner sacred knowledge, this is going to become more prevalent and understood. And our psychic abilities, something I believe every human possesses, because we all have a pineal gland, which is our third eye, is going to start to awaken. It's already happening. All right, last question. And that is going to be next step, action to take. love shuffling this deck so much. This one too. And actually this one's pretty good too. It's nice and smooth. They just slide. All right. Next step, action to take. What is the essential action by public, whistleblowers, governments, etc., needed now to move toward clarity or healing? Whoa. The Empress in reverse. Wow. I'm taking the Empress in reverse as more of a divine masculine approach. So we need to take a divine masculine approach, but at the same time, with the frequency of love to create change. That is what needs to happen. I say divine masculine as opposed to divine feminine because what this energy I'm getting is like time is of the essence and we have to not coddle, as in the time for soft nurturing is it's kind of becoming a bit more urgent. And while divine masculine isn't necessarily as nurturing as divine feminine, it is still very loving. But it's more of a, come on, like, let's pull up our bootstraps and, like, really get serious about operating in a higher frequency so that real change can happen. All right. Beauty, nature, and patterns. High Priestess. Just trust. The multiverse. What we can and cannot control. Instead of focusing on the negativity and people exacting negativity, we can't control their actions directly. But what we can control is the frequency that we emit, and love transmutes all negative energy. So that's how we can influence the negative things that are going on. Instead of feeding into it, we need to just embody the resonance of love in everything we do, in how we approach things, and how we approach things especially that we don't agree with. And that takes some accountability and being very honest with yourself. Okay, guys, that's it for this reading. If you enjoyed it and you're new to my channel and you have not yet subscribed, please consider doing so. I will be uploading more of this type of content. And yeah. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.